What's your rank, if you don't mind me asking? The SEAL lieutenant's voice carried across the crowded cafeteria at Forward Operating Base Rhino, his tone casual, almost joking. He clearly expected the blonde woman in civilian clothes to be a contractor, maybe State Department, someone who didn't belong in their world. Lieutenant Commander Maya Torres looked up from her classified documents. Her blue eyes met his without emotion. She'd heard that tone before, the subtle dismissal, the assumption that a woman in khakis couldn't possibly understand what real combat looked like. Her response would change everything in that room. 3 months into her deployment with naval intelligence in Afghanistan, Maya had grown accustomed to being invisible. The weight of her sidearm, the classified briefings she carried, the nights she spent coordinating with local assets, none of it showed on her surface. Today was supposed to be simple. Brief the SEAL team on Operation Shadowhawk, hand over the intelligence she'd spent weeks gathering, and let them do what they did best. But first, she needed to review the satellite imagery one final time. The cafeteria was packed. SEALs weren't difficult to identify. Bearded faces, confident postures, the way they occupied space like they owned it. Maya grabbed a bottle of water and found a corner table. "Word is we're heading into the mountains," one SEAL said, his voice carrying. "Some spook has intel on a gathering of tangos." That spook would be me, Maya thought. She'd spent 3 weeks coordinating with informants, analyzing satellite data, personally extracting a compromised asset from a nearby village, an operation that had required her M4 carbine when their convoy was ambushed. But they didn't see that. They saw a woman, civilian clothes, quiet. Clearly not one of them. The tall lieutenant entered last, his tray loaded with food. "Any of you ladies save me a seat?" His team laughed. Maya kept her eyes on her papers, but her jaw tightened slightly. Their conversation drifted to complaints about intelligence officers, desk jockeys who've never seen combat. Maya's hand instinctively moved to her left forearm, where a still-healing scar ran from wrist to elbow. 2 weeks old, the Taliban fighter who gave it to her wouldn't be hurting anyone else. "Hey, Harvard," the lieutenant called out suddenly, causing Maya to look up. He was addressing her. "You're with the State Department or something? You look lost." Maya closed her folder slowly. In 30 minutes, she would brief their commander on an operation that would put all their lives at risk. The intelligence she'd gathered, often at personal risk, would determine their survival. First impressions mattered. "Just finishing some work before meeting," she replied calmly. The lieutenant grinned. "What's your rank, if you don't mind me asking?" When Maya's fingers touched the classified folder, her vision blurred for just a moment. She wasn't in the cafeteria anymore. Syria, 2019. The heat was suffocating. The smell of burning oil thickened her lungs. Her team was pinned down in a compound. Intel extraction gone wrong. Enemy fighters closing in from 3 sides. Her commander's voice crackled through the radio. "Shadow 7, we need evac now." But there was no evac coming. Not for another 2 hours. Maya had counted 12 hostiles. Her M4 felt heavy in her hands, sweat stinging her eyes. She could taste copper, fear or blood, she wasn't sure. The sound of boots on gravel, shouting in Arabic, the metallic click of weapons being loaded. "Shadow 7, if you can hear this, we're coming for you." She'd held that position for 47 minutes. When extraction finally arrived, she'd saved 12 lives that day. The scars on her forearm were from shrapnel. The ones you couldn't see ran deeper. Maya blinked. The cafeteria returned. "Lieutenant Commander Maya Torres, Naval Intelligence," she said, her voice cutting through the cafeteria noise like a blade. She slid her credentials across the table. "I'll be briefing your team in 30 minutes on Operation Shadowhawk." The lieutenant's cocky smile evaporated. The cafeteria had grown quieter, conversations dying, personnel turning to look. "Torres," someone whispered. "Wait, the Torres from Syria?" Maya continued, her voice level but firm. "I've personally led 4 night operations behind enemy lines to place surveillance equipment and extract compromised assets." She rolled up her sleeve, revealing the scar. 2 weeks ago, 5 miles south of our target location when my convoy was ambushed." The lieutenant's face transformed, from amusement to something between respect and mortification. Before he could respond, the cafeteria doors swung open. Commander Jackson entered, his eyes immediately locking on Maya. "Lieutenant Commander Torres, I see you've met my team." "Just getting acquainted, Commander," Maya replied, gathering her materials. "Good, because in 12 hours, you'll be accompanying us into the valley." A murmur rippled through the SEAL team. Intelligence officers don't go on raids. The lieutenant who questioned her rank looked like he had been struck. Sir, Lieutenant Commander Torres speaks Pashto and Dari fluently, and she's the only one who's had direct contact with our informant. The mission parameters have changed. Maya's pulse quickened. This wasn't part of the plan. In the command center, satellite imagery revealed the problem. Their primary extraction route was compromised. Thermal imaging showed at least 30 Taliban fighters positioned along the southern ridge. Someone leaked information, Maya said quietly. Commander Jackson's face hardened. Mission is still a go. That compound contains intel on 3 planned attacks on American soil. With respect, sir, we need a new approach. The original plan is suicide. What do you suggest, Lieutenant Commander? Maya studied the terrain, her mind racing through options she'd mapped weeks ago. We insert here. She pointed to a vertical rock face on the northern side. It's unwatched because they think it's impassable. It is impassable, Commander Jackson argued. Not if you've climbed El Capitan, Maya countered. I have. Twice. The commander studied her face, looking for weakness. He found none. Hours later, under cover of darkness, Maya found herself scaling the sheer cliff alongside 6 SEALs, including the lieutenant who'd mocked her in the cafeteria. Not bad for an intelligence officer, he whispered as they paused on a narrow ledge. I'm full of surprises, Maya replied, checking her night vision goggles. Gunfire erupted below them. Searchlights swept the mountainside. They spotted us, someone hissed. No, Maya countered, peering through her scope. They're shooting at something else. Another team. She adjusted her radio frequency, catching fragments of American voices. Special Forces unit pinned down half a mile away. Unrelated operation, Commander Jackson concluded. Not our problem. Maya met his eyes in the darkness. Those are our people down there. Our mission is time-sensitive. Commander Maya interrupted. I know where the intel is kept. I can get it while your team provides support for those soldiers. The tension was palpable. Jackson weighed the impossible choice. Mission objectives versus leaving Americans to die. Split the team, Jackson decided. Lieutenant Reeves, take Martinez and Cooper to support the Special Forces unit. Torres and I proceed to the compound with Wilson and Ortiz. His eyes locked with Maya's. You better be right about that intelligence location. I am, Maya affirmed, checking her weapon. The compound appeared deserted, a tactical deception Maya had anticipated. 2 guards inside, she whispered, pointing to heat signatures on her equipment. Intel is in a hidden room beneath the eastern building. The operation unfolded with precision. Maya worked quickly, photographing documents and downloading files. Attack plans targeting American embassies, names, dates. We've got what we need, she announced. A sudden explosion rocked the compound. Through her earpiece, Commander, Special Forces extraction successful, but we're taking heavy fire. Martinez is hit. Bad. We need immediate extraction, but our route is cut off. Maya pulled up satellite imagery on her tablet. There's another way, but it's through the compound we're in. They need to come to us. What followed tested every skill Maya had developed. As Taliban fighters converged on their position, she coordinated their defense. Her M4 carbine, no longer a precaution, but a necessity. When a grenade landed near them, Maya reacted first, kicking it into a ravine seconds before detonation. Lieutenant Reeves arrived with his team, dragging the wounded Martinez between them. Extraction point is compromised, Jackson stated grimly. We need alternatives. Maya studied the tablet, mind racing. There's a village 2 miles north. I have contacts there, people who helped me before. They can shelter us until extraction is possible. You trust these people with American lives? Jackson questioned. I trust them with mine, Maya replied simply. Dawn was breaking when they reached the village. An elderly man met them, exchanging rapid pashto with Maya before ushering them into a hidden cellar. Martinez received medical attention. Maya established communications with base. Extraction in 6 hours, she announced. Helicopter comes at dusk. Lieutenant Reeves approached her as she monitored communications. The cockiness was gone, replaced with respect. You know, when I saw you in that cafeteria, I thought you were just another desk jockey playing at war. Maya continued her work without looking up. And now? He hesitated. Now I know better. Your father would be proud. Maya finally met his gaze. My father taught me that courage isn't about not feeling fear. It's about doing what's necessary despite it. As dusk approached, Commander Jackson gathered the team. What happened here doesn't go in the official report. The risks Lieutenant Commander Torres took, by the book, she should be reprimanded. The team remained silent. Instead, Jackson continued, I'm recommending her for the Silver Star. Not that anyone outside this room will ever know the full story. As the helicopter rotors grew louder, Maya thought about that cafeteria scene. The young lieutenant who jokingly asked for her rank had no idea what his question would set in motion. Not just a mission, but a transformation. When they boarded the helicopter, Maya took one last look at the mountains. She'd proven something that day, not just to the SEALs, but to every woman who'd ever been underestimated in a uniform. Sometimes, the quietest warriors carry the heaviest secrets, and the most unlikely heroes save the most lives.